I like to use all different types of tools. Hi, I am super excited to show you some of my favorite painting tools. I like to use all different types of tools when I paint, but I'm just going to show you some of my favorites right now and show you all of the different ASMR sounds that they make. I like to start every painting by sketching out some of my ideas. The size of your sketchbook really doesn't matter. It's just to get some ideas down and start putting them onto paper. I like to use a mixed media sketchbook so the pages are nice and thick, thick, thick. And you don't have to worry about all of the different paints and markers slipping through the paper. I want to show you all of the different paintbrushes that I use. I have all different sizes. Some are really big. And the bristles are quite stiff. This is really great for making big, broad strokes all over the canvas and covering a lot of area really quickly. One of my absolute favorite paintbrushes to use is this one because it's nice and flat on the top and slightly rounded. It allows me to make almost a perfect circle and fill in lots of different shapes. It's also nice and soft and flexible. And super high quality. You don't have to worry about investing a lot into paintbrushes in the beginning. You can just pick a few and see which ones you like the best and invest in different paintbrushes as you continue. A really common shape that I use is a rounded paintbrush. I have two different sizes. One is a little bit smaller and really great for making medium sized circles, and the other is a little bit larger. Some other tools that I use all of the time to make different techniques is this little it's really good to hit and make different splatters and drops of paint all over the canvas. It's one of my favorite to use. You don't have to just use paintbrushes. You can also use all sorts of different tools like sponges. To get in nice and close and make different textured marks all over the canvas. This sponge gets nice and soft once it gets wet, but when it's dry, it makes these really fun ASMR noises. One of my favorite wedges is this one. And you just scrape it across the surface of the painting. And it leaves all of these really cool scalloped edges. I like to use an old cutting board that I got from the dollar store years ago. You can use lots of different household items to paint and just be creative. I like how you can see all of the different spots where I've painted and mixed different colors before. It also makes cleanup really easy because you can just peel this paint right off the cutting board and start fresh. Lastly, we can talk all about paint. I use two different types of paint, both a hard body and soft body acrylic. I'll show you the soft body first. This paint is super easy to mix and comes in both student grade and professional. You can hear the paint inside the tube. That is how you know it is a soft body because it's a little bit more liquid and not so solid. And it just comes in a nice flip top, making it really easy to store upside down. If you're finding that you use certain colors a lot, it might be worth investing in a hard body acrylic in a slightly higher grade of paint than just student. This will allow the pigment to go a lot farther and you won't need as much paint to cover the same amount of area. This paint is a lot more solid and will not move around in the tube when you shake it, but you can always add a little bit of water if you want to thin it out a little bit. It really doesn't matter what you start with when painting. The most important thing is you use whatever you have as well as your imagination.